Make salute. What do you mean make salute, Ivan? I wanted suits.
Anyway, we're here with Blue Dragon 5. We're going to talk about Iron Man, like just about everyone else, Iron Man 3. I only saw it the other day, but we were having problems with our Pamela recorder, so I couldn't record it, and I came home all ready to talk Iron Man 3, so...
Because when it boils down to it, Pamela's no Jarvis.
Uh, anyway, we haven't exchanged thoughts yet, so this is going to be very interesting. This is going to be more of a discussion than an actual review. So, I just want to ask first up, did you get any trailers before the movie?
Wouldn't be a movie without trailers.
What trailers did you get?
Well, you got two standard ones. You got Thor, which was awesome. Thor 2 The Dark World, which we've expounded upon.
Yes.
Previously. The Wolverine, I got the American. Well, there are two trailers for Wolverine. Like, one's the UK version, which has more footage in it. And I got, like, the regular American one where you don't see the Silver Samurai.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, I got a few, but the only one I can really remember is seeing the Star Trek Into Darkness, because this was actually the first one that actually almost made me want to go see it in the theater. But I think I left it at the end. By the end of it, I was like, you know what? I'll wait for DVD to rent it and see what it's like. But it looks like J.J. Abrams did a better job this time than he did last time. It's just
Oh, sorry. I will say this. That for the Star Trek, I'm not going to see it. My grandmother is. She loves Star Trek, particularly the stuff with the next generation, the one with Picard. But
yeah,
she's seen the new ones, and she's familiar with the whole thing. Like she's seen Wrath of Khan, and that's kind of what this film is. That's probably why it might be better than the other 2009 Star Trek, because they're kind of paying homage to one of the big famous ones,
Yeah.
Also, I love in the trailer. I will say one thing for it. Again, I'm not a big Star Trek fan, but I do love Ricardo Montalban. I hear the guy doing kind of a con sound alike.
Yeah, that's what I saw as well. I haven't watched any reviews for that either or anything. It's just just the trailer seemed like there was a little bit more going on here than normal. But yeah. That's the only one I remember. But
also, I got Hangover 3.
Yeah, I didn't get that, but that's coming out soon here, so yeah. Anyway, to the movie itself.
Speaking of 3.
Yes. Yeah. I was expecting a little bit more from this than what
really?
I saw it and I was like, this is pretty good. But it's not as good as I thought it was hoping for. I did like how they integrated Avengers into it, because this is the first movie after Avengers, and I'm glad they integrated it fairly well with this. But they didn't. It wasn't like direct. It was just like, well, clearly New York has affected him. Yeah, I liked that.
We should give a spoilers warning, shouldn't we?
Yeah, spoilers. There's going to be spoilers. Sorry.
But I didn't spoil anything yet.
Yeah, I think everyone has essentially seen this movie over here in Australia by now, because it's already been out for a week or so already. So anyone that really wanted to see it has seen it. It took me forever to see it, and I was like, ooh, I should see it.
Yep. I enjoyed this movie very much. Thought it was really good, better than 2.
Oh yeah, it's definitely better than 2. Definitely better than 2. But as I said, I was expecting a little bit more of a fall than I got here.
I think what we got with it is just, it's good stuff. But again, I'm going to get into this momentarily, but I find there's a missed opportunity in it that I think, I can't say I was disappointed because it works as a movie still, I find.
Oh yeah, I just was expecting more. It works, and everything works about it. It's just like, it should have, there should have been a little bit more to it than what I don't know what I would have added to it. It's just that there was stuff I liked. I liked it. I just was hoping for more. I was hoping for that last
piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, there was like all the it's like.
I think I get you, but for me, I think the trailers kind of sell this movie on that it's going to be the Dark Knight Rises of the Iron Man films, and that it's a little darker than we actually get, because there's a lot of great humor in this film.
Yeah,
I'm not complaining about the humor. I'm just saying that there's some dark stuff in here, which is as advertised, but it's not necessarily as dark as I thought it was going to be. Which still great stuff. Still good. Again, just kind of, it wasn't what I was expecting, but I'm still happy with what I got overall.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing that was disappointing. Not enough Iron Man in the suit.
You know what, actually, I think there was just enough Iron Man. I do think, and they have a lot of, keep in mind, I'm a gadget guy, and that's kind of, I'm not a huge, Iron Man comics fan, mind you.
Yeah.
I like some, I love the conceit of Iron Man. I like a lot of things about him. I've read some of the comics, a lot of him in Avengers. Primarily the movies is what I like most, but it's overall good stuff from Iron Man. But the one of the selling points for me on him is the armor and the gadgetry and such. That's something I really do like. All the variations of the armor, the constant advancement of it.
Yeah.
And in this movie, I was happy with all the armor stuff we got in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was all those flying suits at the end, but I was like, why can't he be in one of them? Why can't it? And the whole joke of this new suit that just doesn't work. It was like,
Yep, the Mark 42.
Yeah, it just didn't. I was like, oh come on, just a little bit more. That should I'm glad we got one scene that was not actually him in the suit, but you thought it was until the end, and I was like,
yeah.
It's just one they just. I was just like, oh come on, man, But we got plenty of Iron Patriot in this. We got plenty of Iron Patriot here, which was really quite cool. I like the way they integrated that into it. War Machine's no longer War Machine; it's Iron Patriot, and that was kind of cool. I liked the way they used him. I wish they just used Iron Man more like they used Iron Patriot.
Yeah, that was really well integrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, I just love the idea that they tested the name, and everyone's making fun of it, saying Iron Patriot. Really, and he says, "Well, it tested well." Then he's going through while he's threatening people. he's on the speakerphone with Tony, and he's basically saying, "What's your password?" War Machine 68, which I think might be I think this would be cool, but I haven't looked it up or anything. But I think that 68 might be the year War Machine actually appeared.
Oh, okay.
I believe Iron Man was he was either in 62 or 63 is when Iron Man was around, but I'm thinking War Machine maybe down the line.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, okay. Well, also think it's War Machine rocks.
Yeah.
They're all laughing at it. He cocks the gun at him. But my favorite gag is, it was this kind of a serious moment, but I just laughed because it entertains me to no end. Because I always loved I had kind of a very, not really a nitpick, just something to notice in the first Iron Man film, and 2, is that, of course, it's always cool to see Tony armor up, and you have the armor stations, they gear him up and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But me being familiar with again, I like, my favorite Iron Man suit's the classic armor from the comics.
Yeah.
The one you could actually fit into the suitcase armor, which was always my favorite thing, and glad it was in 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I was thinking, well, he's always going to have an armor station around him, otherwise, except for 2, but still, it's a limited suit in 2, is that he's never going to be able... He's never going to be able to armor up just without this giant armor station, and we got that here. And my favorite gag was he parks it like a car. Well, he goes to a bar with Rhodey, and like on the outside, it's parked in a parking space, like a motorcycle or a car. And I love that. I just love that I love all the armoring up, so to speak, like how it breaks apart. You know, it's like parking in spaces. He's like it gears up around him. I absolutely adore that. I really do. That was my favorite. That's really won me over for this film. Like all the use of the armor in this. So when it was used, I think it was used to great effect. True.
Yeah, when it was really cool and everything. But I just wanted one or two more fights with Iron Man in the suit.
Like, fair enough.
Yeah, one or two. Not. It was just. Like, especially at the end, there was no real reason why you had to have him out of the suit. Like, there was a bunch of stuff where you just had to have the mask up if you really wanted to face-to-face or anything. But it was like little nitpicks for me that were just like, oh, I'll tell you one thing I did like. I liked AIM in this. I liked when I heard AIM, I was like, ooh, cool. Because I saw them in one of the episodes of Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and I was like, "Oh, AIM! We're going to get AIM in this. This is really cool." Like, I wasn't expecting that, because I didn't. I knew the Mandarin was going to be in it, and we'll get to that in a minute.
Oh yeah.
Because I have some nice things to say about that, but I got some unnice things. So we got AIM, and we got the leader of AIM, played by
Guy Pearce,
who is an Aussie.
Aldrich Killian.
Yeah,
that's his character in them.
Yeah, and I was like, I liked how he was playing the geek at the beginning, and I didn't even recognize him in the beginning because like I didn't initially first recognize him in Prometheus either, but yeah, I was like, I was like, cool, he's playing a bad guy, because I know he can play a bad guy quite well, but I was like, really cool, and I liked how I was like, oh, well, they're going to be behind all this sort of thing, they're going to be the Mandarin's backup, and like in how Scarecrow in Batman Begins was like, just the backup.
He's an underling. He's working.
Yeah, I figured that'd be the underlings, and that I was like, oh, that's gonna be interesting. You're having Guy Pearce and oh god, the guy that played the Mandarin. Oh god,
Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley in the same thing, and I didn't get that, but I was like, oh well, that was interesting. But I liked having AIM in it. So what did you think when you first saw that the AIM was going to be in this?
Yeah, thing with AIM is I love that it was used. I really do, because I like all the little organizations just being used in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Because that's an easy thing to integrate. Just say they're working for a large. Well, you got Hydra, which could be brought back for the Captain America films.
Yeah.
Easily. But the thing for AIM is I like that AIM was used. I like that he basically made the AIM company, the AIM organization. However, I wish it was used a little more. It's introduced in kind of, I don't know, like, we didn't get the yellow suits, which that's fine.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
I guess what I'm saying is I hope AIM comes back, because I don't mind what we got here. I'm just saying I would like more of it, but I mean, just in the future. I like that they're established, and I hope they come back in the future, Because I just love to concede like another. Something Tony Stark hasn't really dealt with. It's something easy Tony Stark can deal with, in that it's it's a whole organization with the Magia or AIM or Hydra. It's an organization that using this technology or trying to dwarf this technology, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'd like to have I don't know whether it's just one guy that's the leader and that's it. That's all we see, but I know that there's there should be more of them, and I mean, with a guy that smart, it shouldn't be that too hard to figure out how to bring him back if need be.
Yeah. Before we broach the subject of the 10-ringed villain for the piece, I have one last thing to say about the armor.
Yeah, sure.
Now, of course, this film was marketed on, he's going to have all these suits of armor.
Yeah.
The Hall of Armor, which, of course,
Yeah,
to me, and I like the Hall of Armor. I love that use, but I think we could have focused on more. And you're right. We should have seen Tony jump in, and stay in each armor a little longer. Showcase the armor more so they can get some of the names and what these things are, get a better look at them.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't know if it's just because we didn't see all of them that long, because from what I've looked up, we're missing a lot of armors. Going from because just the top level gets destroyed. We're missing 6 to 7 armors. We're missing 7 armors. Those were the 7 that had blown up during the mission assault, the mansion.
Yeah, and you figure that they weren't. I think they were just topping on the ones that people knew the most.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
Yeah, and for everyone listening, I'm going to say this now. It's not Hulkbuster. Igor, the blue armor, is not... The blue armor that looks like Hulkbuster is not Hulkbuster, because I want an actual Hulkbuster in Avengers. I've looked it up. It's official. It's not Hulkbuster, so I don't want to spoil parade. I'm just saying that because I really want to see a good Hulkbuster in the future.
Yeah.
But, again, it would have been nice if they showcased or at least gave more screen time to the individual armors, kind of show what's needed about, because they had that for, the drill armor, remember?
Yeah.
Because that was neat, and they had some stealth armor, I think maybe some Silver Centurion armor.
Mm.
But, yeah.
Oh, one thing I did like is we got to see Pepper Potts in there, in one of the armors for a bit.
Oh, one thing about that now, in that, just to be clear, when he forms the armor around Pepper Potts, that's the reason it doesn't work on him, right? When it comes back to him? Because you can tell kind of when it forms around Pepper Potts, it's it's not meant to form around her, her DNA's not coded to it.
Yeah.
I got to bring that up before we tackle our 10-ring devil, so to speak.
Yeah.
So I got a lot to say about that.
Oh, I got good things to say about it, but yeah, that's all. I like that. I like that we got Pepper Potts in their armor, because I know eventually doesn't she get her own armor at some stage?
She does, and I kind of hope that doesn't happen.
I was kind of hoping it does, because I wouldn't mind seeing Gwyneth Paltrow in armor type.
Well, I mean, she literally gets an arc reactor in her chest because she gets attacked during something.
Oh, okay.
Then she becomes Rescue, and I don't know. This doesn't really...
it might not work so well in the comics, but it wouldn't be... I'm sure we could get it to work on film. I know we're probably not going to get another full-on Iron Man movie with Robert Downey, but I've got some... we might touch on that at the end. We might touch on some picks for a replacement. But yeah.
I will say this, though. Thing of Pepper Potts is that going into this film, that was the one spoiler it just bugged me to no end. Everyone was saying, "Oh, I think she's in the armor." I didn't see this in the trailers. I couldn't see it in the trailers because I kept thinking, "Oh no, she's gonna become Rescue." When I was thinking she's gonna get her, I haven't seen this in any of the trailers, and apparently it's just it forms the armor around her. And apparently, I'm just gonna assume that's the reason Rhodey doesn't have any armor. He can't. Because he forms it around Killian and he forms it around Pepper, but it doesn't form around Rhodey. I guess it just wouldn't work because it needs to be coded to the DNA, which I'm going to mention before we broach the 10-ring devil, because I got something to say on that, unless you want me to move that to later.
No, if you want to talk about it now, that's fine.
Just something, it's about extremists. It's the little bit. Anyway. So yeah, I love in this film, just from the first trailer, it really instantly sold me on the premise, because I heard from the beginning it was going to involve the extremist stuff, hence Killian being in the film.
Yeah.
I hate extremists in the comics. Now, what I know about extremists, basically in Civil War and stuff, past that, he has the injection site in him that basically forms a liquid gold layer of the armor, around his body, coming from the inside his body. And then he snaps on the red armor, the red parts of the armor, which I hate that. It's going too far for him. It's biology. It's crossing line biology and hardware. It's not. It's going too far for me. I hate that.
Yeah, I thought it was like a bit much, but I was hoping it was going to come into more use, more than like just a comedy gag. I was like, oh god, come on,
But
no.
Sorry.
I was like, come on, like have the suit on him and have him figure out how to work it, and then just go to town with it. That's all I really wanted.
But I
I was sick.
do. Oh, I'm
I was. I was sick and tired of the running gag of like once it got to the end where the suit comes to him and it doesn't work. I was like, really, really, like it wasn't funny anymore. It was like stupid. It was like stupid. It was like, come on. This is Tony Stark. He's like one of the smartest men in the Marvel universe. It's not.
You're talking about the staircase scene, right? The one where he's goes to him after all the miles of travel, and then when he's tied to the bedpost.
No, after that.
No, okay.
Where at the end, at the climax, where there's like a million suits and then he's calling this one to him and it doesn't work. It's like, that was when it should have just worked and he should have just blasted the guy his way. And you would have gotten the same ending and it would have still worked and it would have been that little bit better. I got like a few of them little nitpicks that like draws down the rating for me. I was like,
but the thing that instantly won me over in the trailers was they basically fixed Extremis and made it to a point where I actually thought, yeah, that's brilliant. I love that so much more than the comics Extremis. It's just that he controls it with his mind. I saw the little gizmo on his head. You know, he was basically controlling it with his mind. But then you see in the movie, like he codes it to his DNA, so like injects things in his arm so he can control the armor, make it like fly to him and armor him up. Which
yeah,
I think was freaking brilliant. I absolutely adored that. I love that so much. And again, like the armor fooling around, we have a scene that's kind of like the scene in one where like he flies up against the wall. In the beginning when he's like armoring up for the first time with the kind of the extremist mental control. Remember, like it's going too fast to form around him.
Yeah.
Hits him below the belt, and after he gets armored up, like the last piece hits him, and he falls completely apart.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's all I got. That's my armor. That's my extremist rant. But again, it works so much better in the film, the way they did it.
Sounds like it does, but I haven't read much Iron Man. I haven't read any Iron Man comics, so.
Yeah, it's just like in Civil War. It's just something I always notice, like reading Civil War for the first time. Like, why does he have this gold suit on? And I found out, oh man, that's a horrible idea. It looks stupid.
Yeah. Do you want to tackle the Mandarin now?
Let's tackle the Ten Ring Devil.
All right. I enjoyed it. Up to a point. I liked how like the Mandarin didn't turn out to be real, but I thought this is kind of a low blow because we're throughout the advertisements we were promised we're going to have Ben Kingsley as the Mandarin, which sounds really good, and I was like, okay, we're going to get a good villain here, and we did, and then it was revealed, oh no, it's all AIM and everything, and I was like. And it worked, but I would have, like, isn't the Mandarin, like, the top villain of Iron Man, and we got it, but we didn't get it? It's like, oh, it was all this hoax, and oh, God, I was like, and all the stuff he was saying in the television, in, like, the ads and everything, and he shot the guy, and it's like, oh, it shot the, especially the one where he shoots the accountant guy. Yeah. That was really good. And how he said that the fortune cookies are actually an American invention and all that.
That's my favorite speech of his. I love that fortune cookies speech. It's kind of an homage to, it's kind of a reference to he was Chinese originally or Asian.
Yeah. I mean, of course, with a name like the Mandarin, that's what I was expecting. But yeah, it was like, and how he was like this big scary guy, and like it was like, well, not big, but like this scary guy. Like I got the sense that he was like a puppet master type villain, and I was like, ooh, that would be so cool and everything. And then of course, turns out it's not really the Mandarin. It's just this actor guy, and like Ben Kingsley is such a good actor. He can play both roles really well, and I was like, that was kind of, but still it was kind of like this low blow, and I was like, yeah, it worked for the film, but you're like, you lured us in with something, and it didn't really work, and I was like,
Allow me to begin with this statement. Ladies, children, sheep, you call me a terrorist. I think myself a teacher. Lesson number 1. Heroes. There's no such thing. I love the Mandarin so much. I love the Ben Kingsley Mandarin. I thought he was awesome.
yeah.
I came into this film with, I know, again, I'm not a huge Iron Man fan, but what I do know is this. Mandarin is Iron Man's archenemy, and of course, you see these Iron Man films, and an outside viewer might think that, okay, so Ironmonger, okay, so he must be his archenemy, because he's in an Iron Man suit like him. He says, oh, no, he's not. If anyone asks, he says, so who's his archenemy then? It's this guy called the Mandarin. The Mandarin. Well, why wasn't he in there? Well, they hinted at him with the Ten Rings organization, which I love their flag, by the way, and I love it when it's on the TV broadcast.
Yeah, that's what I like too.
I love that, and he's hinted at, and I'm assuming he has like 10 terrorist cells, hence like each one has a ring, and like they have a meeting, and he kills them all or something, and gets the rings. Again, that's before we get the reveal. I thought that, but anyway. And if anyone's wondering, I'll address it in a minute. Forget it. But the thing about the Mandarin, he's basically Iron Man's Joker, his arch enemy, and we've been building to him for this long. There's a very subtle hints at him in Iron Man 2. And then, it's building, and we finally get this his arch enemy, and I heard Ben Kingsley was playing him. I saw the trailer. The voice was awesome. And there's a great moment in the film. I was on board for the Mandarin the whole time, and I was thinking, oh man, this is going to be kind of like a blend between Dark Knight Rises and Superman 2. It's basically the hero rebuilding himself after facing off against a really powerful foe that makes him have to question himself and rebuild himself to a bigger and better hero. And what happens is, the moment that instantly sold me, I was just in the film and in the trailers was, it says, Mandarin, I'm not afraid of you. I live right here. Come and get me. The Mandarin, he calls him on it. He calls Tony Stark on a lot of his, his antics. He fires, he sends helicopters after him, fires into the home, and sends him like all the way to this journey. In the trailer, it's kind of a more poignant moment. I think he's like traveling through the snow, hauling the armor there, just complete silence. It's like, oh man, wow. And then of course it's building and building. He goes to the Mandarin. He finds the Mandarin. And I'm expecting the whole time these trailers, these little TV broadcasts, it's basically real-life terrorism with a Marvel spin on it, It's like the closest thing we have to real-life supervillains. So I think it's kind of what Iron Man did, because it's basically, Iron Man is kind of the closest Marvel thing we have to real-life heroes, villains, and that sort of thing. To a degree, basically it's advancing technology and terrorism on a level.
Yeah.
So I've been getting that. Yeah, it's been building, and then you have that moment. I don't know, I was on board completely, and if anyone says, oh, the Mandarin, he can't work in the movie, I was buying into it, I was for it, and, well, then, the moment I had this deflation moment, I was like, okay, Tony Stark, he always has a gun drawn, the Mandarin comes out of the bathroom, he's like, oh, okay, it's different, it's kind of interesting, he plays it up for the camera, that's not bad. Okay, so he just plays. He's dropping the act while he's coming out of the bathroom, and he's going to realize he's there. He's going to have an awesome speech. I know it. Okay. He's just still he's messing around with them. I'm thinking, oh, what, Trevor? Who? What? Well, that's not the Mandarin. I wasn't expecting this. Wait, what? There's another. He's not the Mandarin. I was. At first, I was just curious, and I just had this deflation moment. I was just wondering, what gives? I mean, he's his arch enemy. He was awesome. I was expecting this build, this feud, and we didn't get it. It's a good overall. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm beating around the bush here. Is like getting this across. But the thing with the Mandarin overall for this film is I think the reveal and the whole thing works within the context of the film. It's a great tribute to the Mandarin. However, still, it's kind of taking his arch enemy, his Joker, and kind of like writing him off a little.
Taking his balls off. They're taking the balls away.
Taking his rings away, basically.
Yeah, that's it.
I was going into this thinking my thoughts weren't, is there going to be like a decoy Mandarin? My thoughts were, okay, so are the rings going to be technology? Are they just going to be there? Are they going to be like alien Asgardian in this world? What's with the rings? And then this, Evans, oh wow. And I guess, should we broach the Guy Pearce subject as the Mandarin?
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing.
Yeah.
The thing with Guy Pearce, he has this line, he just says, "You've been looking for the Mandarin, Tony? I am the Mandarin." He's on fire. He has Fin Fang Foom tattoos, and he's breathing fire.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm almost on board for that. Again, I think it works within the context of the film as a reveal, and just this guy is kind of has a good point, and it's a good plan on his part, minus the whole I'll get the plot hole after this, but he's basically a good plan. He has that line. True, he was. He's like left on the roof, and a lot of people think that's his sole motivation. But no, he has an actual good point. It's that, in that moment, I realized that if no one's going to take me seriously, I can use that to my advantage. I can be the party that's kind of, you're not on board for this. And if you're not, I'm going to use this against you. I'm going to basically be the guy who's orchestrating the terrorist organization. So you're looking at the wrong angle here. I can just stab you in the heart, to quote Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
The background, which I just thought, it's not a bad plan. He basically fabricated this whole terrorist organization. And he's funding, he's supporting the technology and stuff. And the bombs, which also I love his marble technology.
Yeah.
Those marbles were awesome. I was thinking that the minute he used them. I was, again, me being the gadget guy. I was thinking, oh, that's cool. Little marbles, holographic projection.
Yeah, I liked a lot of what Guy Pearce's character was doing. It was he was funding both sides, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. It's like the Clone Wars reveal, but it actually works. It's like, well, yeah, we're not. It actually works within the movie. It's like he's created this phony villain and everything, and it's correct. And he's got the US, and he's got the vice president in his back pocket and everything.
Who was in RoboCop?
Yeah, and they had another great actor from Die Hard 2, but it worked really well in Star Trek and that. And I forget what his name is, but yeah, he's the bad guy from Die Hard 2 and everything. That played the president, and I was like, I was waiting for him to turn evil in a way, but I
like the president.
Yeah, he's actually playing a decent guy, and I'm like, it doesn't work. I'm used to you being a villain. I'm waiting for the penny to drop on him, but yeah, it's like
I'm expecting people to put Obama in the Iron Patriot armor.
Yeah,
because you got a roadie in there. I don't know. I'm expecting that to happen.
Yeah, but yeah, they took the. Again, they took the Mandarin's balls away for this plot, and it's.
Again, I'm still iffy on it. Again, it's just kind of, it's not a bad. I can't hate it. I don't hate it, but it's a great tribute to the Mandarin. But I wanted the Mandarin. I would have bought the Mandarin in that because there was so much good build up. The whole, shoots the guy in the. You're right. The trailers, and it's realistic terrorism on a Marvel level, and Tony Stark's got a thing against this guy. He's like, you can tell Tony Stark's invested. Like, okay, this guy's blowing people up. There's no link to it. I'm interested by this guy. I got to stop him.
Yeah.
That means saying, let me help you, Rhodey. Let me help you find this guy.
Mm.
Yeah. Also.
But the Guy Pearce thing of people as bombs. It's not an original idea. I've seen it before, but it works in this film and everything. And I like it. I like that plot because it's kind of a mystery, but it's kind of lame.
Yeah.
and it healing people, yeah, okay, but and it malfunctioning so often, it's ridiculous. It's like really bad technology here. So why was
Well, Tony Stark did invent it when he was drunk. Keep that in mind.
yeah.
Oh, I love that callback, by the way, with Yinsen. I absolutely love that.
The callback with
Remember, it's in Iron Man 1, and Yinsen says, I met you at a conference once. If you were that drunk, then again, if I were that drunk, I couldn't stand, let alone give a speech on circuitry.
Okay.
That was the thing he was talking about. That's why Yinsen's there.
All right.
Yeah, he meets Tony Stark, but Tony Stark doesn't remember because he was drunk.
Cool.
Oh, but yeah, the thing with the Guy Pearce as the Mandarin, a few things. One, the big flaw in his plan is how Pepper fits into it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's kind of like how, one would think he kidnaps Pepper to make Tony work for him. Then again, he injects her with the extremist thing, though. So basically, there's a chance that she's going to die, and if not, then he gave her powers, basically.
Yeah.
How does that work in his?
I think he just wanted he just wanted some pepper.
But not salt. He wants pepper.
No, he doesn't want salt. He wants pepper.
Okay.
He wants pepper in his pot.
Come on, man.
He wants to get in Pepper's pot. Oh, okay, that's just wrong.
We'll just stop.
But yeah, it just.
I think I had something else about Guy Pearce Mandarin. He something about what he did. Darn it. Yeah, let's talk about, while I try to think of it, let's talk about Rhodey.
Brody. Yeah. Or Rhodey or whatever. Yeah, he worked. I said that earlier. Everything about him, he was in the suit, his suit more than long enough, and them using the suit all the times they did, which all that worked really well. That's awesome.
Yeah. I think he's.
But yeah, I just that worked.
Yeah.
And everything. So,
he really stepped up his A game. Don Cheadle playing Rhodey.
Yeah. This turned me around on him. I didn't really like him in the first, but he turned around and everything was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Mary's in the second one. I mean, he did a good job in the second, but this one he really did a good job. Like, he's just grown into the role, and he did again, it's a shame he's not in it more, I guess, but, like Tony takes up the most of this movie, which, still, yeah, really.
I thought he was in it more than enough. I think we got just enough of him, actually. I don't think we needed any more at all.
I'm saying that he was really enjoyable when he was on screen. I could have used, like, a very tiny more amount of Rhodey, just, yeah. I don't know. Either way, I think when he was in it, he was enjoyable and just really cool. And he comes out of the suit, like, he won't get out of that suit, and he says, "Oh no, don't release." And when he does, he knows this. Oh, God, I gotta get out of here now. But he's not going out easy. He's going out fighting. He kicks a guy, and he's really action heavy.
Yeah.
And he saves the president. It's kind of, I will say this, it's a shame he doesn't get the suits at the end, in any of the suits at the end.
Yeah. He's got to get in his own, and yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, it is, but I'm still saying, like, it's this funny moment there where he's like saying, "Oh, come on, give me a suit, Tony, come on." And he says, "Oh yeah, they're kind of coded to my DNA, so good luck with that."
Yeah.
But also this nitpick I had in 2, that it was solved in the comics, but it's in the Iron Man 3 prequel comic, but it's basically in canon with this movie, because you can tell by the design of the armor. It's like a rectangular chest piece with the Iron Patriot armor. And, in the old one, it was different. Basically, I always complained that the Mark II armor was basically just refitted with, Justin Hammer stuff, and it was made in the War Machine. Looks great, but still, keep in mind, he's taking away Tony's Mark II armor. Which is stuff only I think about. Apparently. Anyway, so basically, I like how in the prequel comic, basically he took back his armor, but he said, Rhodey, I can't allow you to fly with that stuff. He says, come on, Tony, the government's not going to let you. He says, because I built you an even better one, which he did, and that's the Iron Patriot armor. We'll repaint it to be Iron Patriot. It's the new War Machine armor repaint. That's why the Gatling gun's different on the back and the chest piece.
All right.
So that worked for me. It's just a little nitpick I just kind of liked seeing. That also, I remember what I was going to say about the Mandarin.
What?
There's a misconception that, okay, so if Guy Pearce is the Mandarin, then, he was responsible for Tony getting kidnapped, but we thought that was Ben Kingsley, but it was really Guy Pearce. So, yeah, the thing people are forgetting is Obadiah Stane contracted them to kidnap Tony, not the Mandarin. The Mandarin owns the terrorist cell. And as far as I'm concerned, this is something to keep in mind, maybe. It's not cleared up or anything, but it's like kind of thing to consider maybe. Is that, well, the terrorist cell might be just getting some offhand cash. Like, I mean, they're just being privately contracted, contacted and given a job by Obadiah Stane. And, they're still working for the Mandarin, but, using it for, like, weapons tech and upgrades, So they're taking a job from Stane, but they're still, like, wasn't under the Mandarin's direct orders.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm just saying, I think it's something it's kind of a complaint people easily go to, so, yeah, and he was just left on a roof, and that's why he hates Tony. But again, I think it's the whole plan, if no one sees me coming.
Yeah. And here's something to consider as well. Maybe the Mandarin actually exists, and he's like, and that's where Guy Pearce's character got the idea. And we still might actually get the Mandarin, which I'm hoping we do. And maybe it's just,
I find it very unlikely.
I do too. I'm just throwing it out there. It's just like, it's a thought that popped in my head, and I'm like, yeah, why not?
That was a problem I had, because even if I could wrap my mind completely around Guy Pearce as the Mandarin, because I mean, again, it's not a bad character. Way to go with the character, I guess, because there's no Killian in the comic. He just instantly killed himself in like the first 2 pages of the book. So that's why they had no stamp on his character. He invented the technology. So that's all he did. Then he killed himself. But that's why you could make him the Mandarin. So it's free to do that with him. But the problem is they killed him in this movie. They kill off all the Iron Man bad guys. And they kill him off. That's why, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing him come back as the Mandarin, kind of becoming that Ben Kingsley Mandarin to a degree, but they killed him off.
Fair enough.
Which bothers me. I'm just saying, I might be on board for this in the future, but, you killed him off.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you want to...
What about the kid?
Just talk... The kid? Oh, yeah, well, the kid was cool.
I enjoyed
He wasn't bad. It wasn't any young Anakin Skywalker up there, so it was still pretty good. And weird we didn't ever got to see his parents, but I'm always like that. And that's fair enough.
I like Tony Stark in the small town. I like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Also, I like just seeing the. Oh, I'm sorry.
I just like the kid and everything. I like how he helps him out at the end and everything. That's really cool.
One thing about one very last thing about the armor, I swear, but I like just seeing the armor when he's smoozing Pepper. Remember, just the armor's massaging her shoulders and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I love seeing the armor in these mundane situations. Again, that's kind of my thing. I like with the Incredibles and stuff, just these heroes in mundane situations, just sitting in the armor's sitting in a chair, just waiting for him to walk around. We get that more in the practical stuff, like the armor when he can't fly, he has to walk down the stairs later on.
Yeah.
He has trouble doing that. It's just great stuff, It's just... Also, kind of not about the armor, but kind of a theme here. I think it's lost on superhero films now. Iron Man saved people in this movie.
Yes.
I like heroes I want heroes to save people. It's half the reason you watch the movies. We haven't really had any consistent scenes of heroes saving people since the original Superman, 70 and 78.
Yeah.
I want a hero going on patrol, stopping crime. That's what I want. And we get just these big battles, but they save occasional people.
Yeah. I suppose so.
Like in Begins, Batman only saves Rachel Dawes, well, like, consistently. I'm saying, yeah, he saves the whole city, but like not counting the whole city. Iron Man saves like 13 individual people. You know, that's the sort of thing. Like Spider-Man, like they had a little bit of an Amazing Spider-Man. He saves the kid. That's really individual. Like he saves a kid, maybe a few other people. I just want heroes that can save people or go like Green Lantern. That was a big letdown for that. You know, he's like, okay, yeah, this is the Green Lantern suit, and he says, don't you get the girl in the trailer? I was thinking, okay, he's gonna say, I'm gonna go fight some bad guys now. I want to see him go on patrol. We haven't gotten that yet.
Yeah,
heroes should
you're right.
save people. That's what I want in film. Save people and go on patrol.
All right.
Sorry, that's my rant.
All right. Before we hit the end stinger, because I want to talk about that briefly, but the whole ending where it sort of like wraps things up, but leaves this one little hope that maybe we'll get another film. He sort of it seems like he stopped wanting to be Iron Man. He gets the arc reactor taken out and his heart, all the debris from his heart removed, the shrapnel and everything taken out, and then he sort of leaves the house with all the stuff on the back of his thing. It sort of seems like he's decided, no, I've had enough being Iron Man now, but maybe one more thing. I went there left at the cinema thinking, well, yeah, that seems like it's all over for essentially Robert Downey, but I'm hoping we can get another one. I was just wondering what you thought about that, the whole ending with that without talking about the stinger.
Sure. Let me first say that something I feel kind of silly about this now, but it's a little silly thing. It's when I saw the trailer, this thought didn't occur to me. And when I first saw the movie, it then just dawned on me, and I was like, oh no! It was when the mansion's being blown up, and I love the again, I'm kind of I like some good supporting characters, and I like the whole dummy and the fire extinguisher, little artificial intelligent robots, and I was just thinking, oh wait, the mansion's being destroyed, and you see this in the movie. Oh no, they're going down with the ship. No. Oh no, not the little helper robots. No, but I like in the end that he fishes them out of the water.
Yeah,
I love that. Was just so satisfying to me. It's kind of like the Army Men in Toy Story 3 for me, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, not the Army. No, I'm getting off track. But yeah, when I first saw it, I didn't know where they're going to go with it next, and I have an unfortunate feeling of what they might do with it next, with the lack of armor and lack of arc reactor. I hear people have this theory that then they're going to do the actual Extremis, which I really hope's not the case, because now think about it. He didn't have the armor on him at all times during this film, and he would logically think that I got to have this armor on at all times. He would have the thing injected into him, so it's always handy, which I really hope's not the case. Yeah, but again, I'm impressed that this did kind of end Dark Knight Rises-ish. Basically, it's an ending for Robert Downey Jr., an ending for the character of Iron Man, you know? It's like you don't know what they're going to do. It looks like a great retirement movie for Iron Man. So it's a big finale. Gets the shrapnel removed. I thought that was going to be the Extremis process, which I was dreading in the trailers, thinking, oh no, they're going to do it to him there. It's removing the shrapnel. I didn't see that coming.
Neither did I. It was sort of came out of nowhere, which bothered me a bit. But it didn't, really.
Well, it does kind of make sense after I thought about it for a minute. I was thinking, well, yeah, he has the technology. He builds all those suits of armor. He can probably get the shrapnel out of them.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, we sort of got their retirement. I gather he's going to be in Avengers 2, Iron Man. And that'll probably be it for Robert Downey.
Well, yeah, I didn't see that they was going to blow up all the suits either. I did not see that coming at all. I was thinking, oh man, the suits. I was just assumed that at the end he was going to rebuild the suits for like the next movie. He's going to have like them all those ones that were destroyed during the mansion assault. They were going to be rebuilt because he's a little more nostalgic now. But wow,
Yeah.
Rich people really don't care about their Iron Man suits, just blew them all up.
Yeah, all gone.
Yeah, I was sad by that. Of course, me being the gadget guy, he's like, it's kind of subverting my expectations.
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to start the next Hall of Armor with these guys in it, and we're going to see them around being displayed, and I was thinking, oh no.
Yeah.
I liked all the... Well, we got War Machine's armor around, so I mean, the Iron Patriot, which I will probably be made into War Machine.
Yeah.
Unless Captain America dons it.
Yeah. Yeah, do you want to talk about the Stinger now?
Sure.
Yeah. You told me to wait till the end, and that's what I did. I waited around and I waited around and waited around.
Before the Stinger, what about the 70s? The 70s credits.
That was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. I was like, well, sort of a throwback. That's cool. That was cool. I liked that. And know how we got little clips here and there of the previous movies, which was cool.
Yeah, it had this, it had this kind of final movie vibe. Like Rise.
Yeah.
Like it was the ending, and there was kind of like their tribute. Oh, hey, everyone, yeah, thanks for being part of the journey, you know?
But you take that ending out, it doesn't really feel like an end to the series. Like, Dark Knight Rises, I don't care what anyone says, that's a good movie, and it was a good ending.
Likewise. I agree with you. What do you think?
This one didn't. Until the end, it didn't feel like that. It wasn't like a graduation or anything.
What about Happy? Do you want him to die, or you glad he lived? Happy Hogan, Jon Favreau.
I was okay with that.
Yeah,
if he wants to stick around, that's fine. Like I know Robert Downey has to go, but I'm all for the split cast sticking around and sort of and that. And I've got a few ideas for a couple of actors I wouldn't mind. Well, at least one actor who I wouldn't mind coming in and picking up where Robert Downey left off.
Yeah. Okay, I think we can get to. I'm sorry, you were saying about the Stinger at the end.
Yeah, we got to the Stinger and I was like, he's talking to, and I'm like, who is he talking to? Who has he been talking to this whole time? And then they reveal it's Hulk. He's been talking to Hulk the whole time. Well, not the actual Hulk, but I love it how he says, I'm not actually that kind of doctor. And it's like,
Mark Ruffalo.
you basically, I don't get paid enough to do. It was like a little nice comedy bit. It was like that was pretty funny. That left me. I left the theater happy after that. I was like, well, that was pretty cool. I wish we got in a little bit more of a reveal for Avengers, but that's okay. Like obviously they didn't have a lot planned when they were shooting this, so it was just like, and it was nice seeing the Hulk again. So I'm hoping we'll actually get a Hulk movie with him in it. So yeah.
That could be nice. Mark Ruffalo is just he was great, and it's nice to see him there. Of course, I always kind of still want to see that Hulk and Iron Man. I want to see Tony Stark and Bruce Banner go to Vegas movie.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted to see. And I remember I saw the panel at Comic-Con. I mean, I wasn't there in person. I just saw it on YouTube. But I remember someone asked, will Hulk be in Iron Man 3? And then they said, well, you see the Hulk at the end of Avengers, he and Tony Stark go off, and he's taking him to the airport and straight to Avengers 2. That's what they said, and I'm glad they kind of lied, because, the ending was so funny.
Yeah.
He fell asleep. So he basically missed most of the movie.
Yeah.
And they're still addressing the post-traumatic stress, which was an interesting thing in the movie.
Yeah.
Also, another thing to mention is that when they were writing this movie, they didn't have all of the Avengers script, because again, Iron Man has this thing where their scripts are constantly changing, and when it's not all scripts change somewhat, but I mean when they don't know what they're doing it's constantly changing even more with the Iron Man scripts. There's a lot of improv, then they get changes in notes from Marvel. They have to change it a lot, but same thing with Avengers a little bit. They have the general plot. That's why they don't go uber specific with it, and that's why it's a little vague. Like they say wormhole, you don't really see that many clips from Avengers until after the movie's out,
Yeah.
That's why they kind of keep it a little vague, like saying the guy with the hammer dropped down there, and you have Ruffalo, and there's mentions of a wormhole, and you mention New York, you don't really answer what happened in New York because they were in production at the same time as Avengers.
Oh, okay. That's all right though. I like that they weren't specific about it.
Hey, it works fine for it. I'm just saying it's a little thing to note. Well, thing to keep in mind when you watch it again.
Yep. Anyway, we should get to the rating time now.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about Downey Jr.
I think we'll save that for a casting video or something.
Okay, but yeah. Well, final thoughts then, a rating.
I liked it. I just wish I could have liked it more. I wish there was more to it. That's my feeling on it. As I said at the beginning, there was something lacking, and I can't put my finger on what it was. Like, I think I wanted a bit more of a deeper film and a more of a finale is what I was expecting, and I didn't get that until the end. And I just wish that finale feeling was all throughout the movie.
I'll say this. I do enjoy the film. I really do. I like it better than two. I can't say I like it better than one, but it has a lot of great writing, a lot of good stuff in it. But again, I didn't go into this getting exactly what I was expecting, and I'm not mad at that. And again, I'm still iffy on the whole Mandarin thing because again, I liked what it looked like we were getting with the Mandarin, kind of his arch enemy thing. Again, it's iffy. It works for the context of the film. Again, it's kind of a big issue, so I'm kind of addressing it again, but real briefly. Again, I love Ben Kingsley as the Mandarin. He did a wonderful job. I love the writing on him. I love the voice. I love just the acting job and the costume, everything for the Mandarin. I was just on board for that. It's a shame it didn't come to fruition. But again, it's kind of saved within just the concept of the film. But again, I'm still disappointed that for Avengers, because I was just so excited when I heard Mandarin was going to be like, okay, this is going to be awesome. We get this new pantheon of the villains that aren't dying in Marvel films, you know? We got Loki, we got Red Skull, and you got Loki, Red Skull, the leader, and now the Mandarin, one of the best here. But then it's a shame we're not going to see him again. That's kind of what's got me down, I guess, about the Mandarin. But again, it doesn't hurt me liking this film at all. It's just I like this film. Wasn't what I was expecting, but overall, I like what we got, and I love all the little armor touches and the humor and everything. I think it works. Again, I was expecting more of a darker film, the hero rebuilding himself, but it's not bad what we got at all.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ratings out of 5?
Yeah, ratings out of 5.
Would you like to go first?
No, I'll let you go first.
Okay, well, I'm going to be honest. I'm between 4.5 and 5, but you know what? I'm going to be a nice guy. I'm going to say 5 out of 5 for this film. Because overall, it really was good. The Mandarin thing makes me want to put it to 4.5, but you know, it works within the context of the film. So I'm saying 5 out of 5.
Oh, I'm really sorry, mate, but I have to give it an even lower rating.
Oh.
Granted, it's a very good movie and everything, but it felt like it felt very weak to me. Not very weak, just a bit weak to me. So I'm going to have to give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Would you say too comedic, or?
I think we got too many jokes. I was expecting a little bit more of a serious film for this, and that's what I wanted going into this. I wanted something a little bit more serious, and that's what I was expecting, and that's what was advertised, and that's not what we got. We got essentially Iron Man 2.5, and I wanted Iron Man 3, and I wanted it, and I think the end, that little bit at the end, kind of helped it along a bit. I was partway through, and he was in the small town, and I was thinking to myself, this doesn't feel like an end. This feels like another sequel, and after the whole thing with the Mandarin and and a lot of things, a lot of little things that really held this up from being an absolutely awesome film. Just where I was like, you know what, that's not right. I'm still looking forward to it. I did enjoy the film. It's just I wanted more I wanted more from this film. I really did, and that's not what I got. And I was expecting more, and I needed more for this film than what I got.
Oh, but should we address the lack of a Shield presence in this film?
It didn't bother me. We got a reference to them, and that was good enough for me. I don't think we really needed. I don't think we really needed them in this. And as you said, they were in production at the same time. I would have. We got Hulk at the end and the Stinger, which was really good. We got a Thor reference, and that's all I needed. I wasn't really worried about that. It's just that some of the stuff in this just there should have been more. There should have been more of a dramatic and less of a comedic element to it, I think.
Well, one last thing. Should we save this for another video, or should we discuss our thoughts for Should we discuss from this thoughts for Avengers 2 or theories?
I think we should say that for another video.
Okay.
I'll throw this out there. The lead actor in Justified, I forget what his name is. He was in Scream 2. No, I forget what his name is. Sorry. But that's who I'd pick to replace Robert Downey. The lead actor in Justified. I forget what his name is. Hang on. I'll pause the video and I'll go grab the box and I'll see if I can remember his name. Hang on.
Okay.
Okay, it's Timothy Olyphant. Olyphant. You know him. He was in. He played the lead guy in. He played Hitman in a movie. So that's my pick. Like if he grew his hair out and he grew like a beard, I think like he's got the look, you know, and I think he could pull off an arrogant prick. Like I think he could bridge the gap and do his own thing with the role. I don't know what you think of that. But that's just thinking about it on one day, a couple of days. I'm sure if I had a couple more times to think about it would work. I could come up with a better actor or something.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be really hard.
Oh yeah, admittedly, I had a hard time thinking. I just came to him with like, yeah, I suppose he could do it.
Really hard to recast a perfect actor for a role.
Yeah, like without doing a great big search. I don't know. I don't know. People go like actors act, so it's my thing.
Yeah.
I don't usually do casting videos, but yeah. Any other thoughts before we call it quits here?
Well, I liked Iron Man 3. Would you recommend seeing it to people?
I would if you liked Iron Man's 1 and 2, or you just like 1. I reckon you'd probably you wouldn't like this as much as 1, but you would like it. You would still like it.
Well, I suppose there is one last thing we kind of forgot to broach just briefly.
What?
Well, I mean, Iron Man, he's fighting super powered people in this movie, not iron suits, so. It's kind of the extremist thing. It's like kind of a new thing to see, and I think it's with that we're getting at. Did you accepted it without any? Do you have any?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me because it's the Marvel universe, and it doesn't bother me.
I think we're in a good point in the Marvel universe in which now with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we're starting to get a great thing in that we don't have to. It's easier to accept these outlandish things that in reality it wouldn't work, but now you can accept them more. Like with Thor, like a rainbow bridge. All the stuff in Avengers.
Yeah.
I'm really glad the costuming for the guys. It's becoming more acceptable, and I like that. So we're getting a more comic book like world on the big screen, which is a good thing for the future. That's a positive thing. We're starting to see superpowered people, so it's not that too far out there. We can get a lot of things like Thanos in Avengers 2.
All right.
Good.
Anyway, I think that's it, and we should say goodbye.
Okay.
Goodbye, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, and adieu.
Take care, everyone. Good night, everybody.
All right, see you around.